Ashe greetings. Good day, a grand rising. Goodwill to you all, my fellow natural native earthly humans. The world over. Yes, you don't know that this is yours truly, I, the Mystic Philosopher. And welcome to part 28, the continuation of my series of talks titled, Can Africa Be Set Free? Can Burkina Faso, the land of upright people, the land of people of integrity, be set free? Now, if you haven't yet watched or listened to part 1 through to part 27, and hopefully in that consecutive order, I ask that you please do so before going forward with this part 28, or that you do so at your earliest convenience. I can almost assure you that by you doing so, you may learn something. You may learn something new, which is part of what this thing called life is all about. If you ain't learning anything, then you might as well dead. You may be, by doing so, you may be reminded of something or about something, or at the very least, you may get something to think about, something to ponder about. And please note that I did not say that by listening to yours truly, I, the Mystic Philosopher, you will learn something, but that you may learn something. The truth be told, these talks, these presentations are definitely not for everyone, because I'm well aware of the possibility, if not the fact, that some of you might be offended by the truth, or more correctly, by the facts that are enveloped therein. But as the late Robert Nesta Marley once said in one of his most famous songs called Jaliv, and I quote, "The truth is an offense, but not a sin," unquote. And as the late Dale Carnegie, the author of the book called How to Win Friends and Influence People, once said, and again I quote, "Those convinced against their will are of the same opinion still," unquote. And for the record, let me publicly declare that I am not a con. I try even to stay away from the word con. And neither am I trying to con, to convert, to convince, even to converse with you, to con anyone or anything. I am just sharing another perspective on a lot of things. And in this series, I am sharing what I perceive and think I know, and know that I know must be done in order for our motherland, Al-Kibu land, aka Africa, and by extension, all her children, we, all her ascendants, be free. To be free must be done. Now, for those of you that have listened to some, if not to all, of my previous episodes or previous talks, you will already know what my answer to these two questions are. Question number 1, can Africa be set free? Question number 2, can Burkina Faso, the land of upright people, be set free? You don't know that my answer is a resounding yes. And I have no doubt about such a possibility. However, the purpose of this series is to show you, from my perspective and my spiritual and intellectual insights, how and when Africa, how and when Burkina Faso, and by extension, we all African people, home and abroad, can and will be set free from the tyranny of imperialism and colonialism. It was the late Maya Angelou, the now an ancestor, who once said, and I quote, "The truth is, no one of us can be free until everybody is free," unquote. And with that fact, we both know that none of us Africans, none of us highly melanated people, nations, whether Africans, whether nations or individual, can be free until we all are indeed free. So, I will begin this part 28 by again reading Karl Marx' quote on religion that I have divided, a quote that I have divided up into 4 sections in order for me to decode, explain, and expound on the facts that are enveloped therein. Number 1, religion is the sigh of the oppressed creature. Number 2, religion is the heart of a heartless world. Number 3, religion is the soul of soulless conditions. And number 4, religion is the opium of the people. Unquote. And I have thus far dealt with section 1 and section 2. So now let me now deal with section 3. And again I quote, religion is the soul of soulless conditions. Now hopefully, from all my previous presentations, from all my presentations thus far, we all know and are on one accord with the fact of what religion is, where it is from, who created it, and for what purpose it was created. In summary, hopefully we all know that it is definitely not good for our motherland and neither for her children. And so with that knowledge, let us focus on what the word soul means and what the soul is. And then see what this German philosopher, this German political theorist, economist, journalist, and revolutionary socialist Karl Marx meant by the phrase soulless conditions. First question is this that we must ask is this: what is the soul? From the Mystic Philosopher's perspective and spiritual insight, no one, or even more correctly, no human can honestly and definitely say that they know and know that they know enough about this thing, this entity called soul, or this soul, in order to give a definite and final answer as to what it is, as to what the soul is. And it at all, and if at all you would like to prove, and if at all you would like to prove if what I am saying or if what I've just said is true or false, then I ask that you just ask the first person that you meet with, just ask the first person that you come in contact with, what is the soul? Or the first person nearest to you, what is the soul? And I can almost guarantee you that you will not get a straightforward and a definite answer. I can almost guarantee you of that. In fact, just ask and answer yourself. Just ask and answer yourself. What is the soul? And see what you come up with. Just ask yourself. Experiment with yourself. Yes, while speaking authoritatively in this or other of the imperialist and contemptuous colonizers' languages, we may no doubt appear bright. We may no doubt appear well articulate, well educated, well learned in the imperialist and colonizers' system training institutions, or from the imperialist and colonizers' system training institution, and as if we know. And as such, we may present some very convincing arguments to the masses of people, and especially to the lazy and shallow thinkers, and the fearful non-thinkers, and we may be able to convince them by having them believe that we know. Some of us might even convince ourselves that we know. But the truth be told, we don't know enough and might not be able or even capable to ever know enough to be able to give a definite and final answer as to what this thing called the soul is. However, what we know and know that we know is that soul, or the thing called soul, does exist. And no doubt some of you, my deep analytical, philosophical, and independent thinkers, might be asking this question. The mystic philosopher. How do you know? I know that you know that this thing called the soul really exists. And I would say, great question. And my simple answer is this. It is because we are talking about it. An experience plus logic coupled with activated common sense, not just common sense, because a lot of people have common sense, but it is not activated, but with activated common sense, will affirm that we cannot talk about a thing, something, nothing, or anything that does not exist. Please think and meditate on that fact if you can. To borrow a quote from the late Lamsam Rampa, and I quote, "That which is needs no proof, and that which is not cannot be proven," unquote. So, without getting much deeper or any deeper into the topics of metaphysics or the occult, the esoteric, and philosophy, etc., about the soul, this much I think that most of us, if not all of us, can agree upon and can work with. Number one, that the soul, is spiritual, meaning it is immaterial, meaning it is non-physical, it is intangible, it is metaphysical, it's beyond the realm of the physical. Number two, it was never created and it has never been destroyed. Like matter and energy, it cannot be created and it cannot be destroyed. Number three, it is immortal. The soul is immortal, meaning it cannot die, or to be more correct, or more correctly, it cannot cease to exist. The soul has always existed. It has always been. Where, you may ask? It has always been here, there, everywhere, and elsewhere. It was, it is, and it shall forever be, and it inhabits the realm of eternity. Number four, the soul is ever unfolding. It's ever revealing. It is ever expanding. Number five, it is the core and essence of who and what we are becoming, aka what we are coming to be, and what we shall and should become as the natural native earthly humans. Number six, the soul, is the entity that is within us, or the entity to which we are connected, which makes us live, which makes the entity which makes us feel, which makes us think and exercise our faculty of reason and for reasoning. It is the entity within us, or the entity to which we are connected, which animates us, which makes us move, which gives us life, and which makes us will, meaning which makes us have desire for something, or that something happen. It is the entity within us, or the entity to which we are connected, which makes us live and conduct ourselves as sane, as caring, as rational, as just, as righteous, as empathetic, as sympathetic, as stable and balanced humans in and on this planet and in the physical realm. Number seven, not all, this is very important from now, not all that looks like humans, please bear this in mind, not all that looks like humans, act like humans, and are commonly called humans, are indeed humans that have soul, or humans that are connected to soul. Not all, bear that in mind. Number eight, you will remember that in an earlier episode I shared with you one of my favorite quotes from The Art of War, which goes like this. Again, I'll quote, "If you know yourself and you know your enemy, you need not fear 100 battles," unquote. I also told you in an earlier episode as well that Saul is another name for the Most High. Yes, the Most High up there in the sky. Yes, the glorious, the grandiose and magnificent sun. I told you that the soul, or our soul, is directly or indirectly, rather directly and indirectly, of the sun, the Most High in the sky. And that the soul, our soul, is connected to the sun, the Most High in the sky. Thus, if at all you know yourself, as you should, then you will know that we are the people of the sun. You will know that we are the sun people, the sunful people, also known as the soulful people, the people of soul. You will know that we are the people with soul. You will know that we are the people that is full of soul, or again to correct English, filled with soul. We are the happy people. You'll know that we are the happy people. That's why you must know yourself. You will know that we are the sunshine people. You will know that we are the righteous people. You will know that we are the glorious people. You will know that we are the grandiose people. You will know that we are the magnificent people. You will know that we are the fun people, the alkebulan people. You will know that we are the natural, native, earthly, human, sun people. And the highly enriched melanin, the highly enriched carbon, the highly enriched sun, skin complexion people, etc. And I could go on and on and on and on, but I have to cut it because this thing, I don't want to go too far. And if you know your enemy, hear this now. If you know your enemy, as you know yourself, and as you should, then you will know that they don't want you to know they don't want you to know who you are, or they don't want you to be reminded of who you are. You will also know that they hate the sun, and they hate everything that has to do with the sun. They can't stand up to the sun. They can't look up. You look up on the sun, or the people of sun. Time will not permit me to get to all what I have to say. From my perspective, creatures, meaning those among us, or anything and everything among us that are created, are devoid of soul. Creatures are devoid of soul. They do not have soul, and they are not connected to soul. In fact, it is programmed in their DNA to resent soul, aka the sun, to resent the sun. And the people of soul, the people of the sun, the glorious, grandiose, and magnificent sun in the sky, high up in the sky. In other words, they are not natural. They are unnatural. They are also known as artificial. They lack the warmth and the pleasing personality of soul. They are cold-hearted, meaning their heart is of stone. However, they can be programmed, and some of them are programmed by their creator, by their maker, by their designer, by their God, to be kind of natural, to be a kind of human, aka humankind, mankind, womankind. But they are only a kind of, but not the natural or the real McCoy. And because they are creatures, meaning because they were and are created by their creator, by their designer, maker, their God, etc., they are not immortal, meaning they are mortal, and thus they die. And they must die, and they will die. And some of them should die. And the only hope for any of them to possible live again, and after they die, is to hope for a resurrection. A hope that they might be resurrected by their creator, by their maker, designer, and their God. And the evidence will show and prove that the creatures are afraid to die, because they know that once they die, it is over for them. And that is why the creatures will do and have done any and everything possible, including deleting and unaliving anything and anyone and everyone, just to try and prolong their life. This includes trapping and stealing the souls of our natural native earthly humans. Remember, In an earlier episode, I told you that anything or anyone that has a beginning also has an end. Anything or anyone that is created must die. Therefore, a soul that was or is created must die and will die. Some practical examples of things and people that were and that are created are the Adam and the Adamic race of humankind, aka the imperialist and the colonialist race of humankind. Things like robots were created and automatons, etc., etc. These are all soulless creatures and thus the manifestation of soulless conditions, of which, according to Karl Marx, religion is the soul of soulless conditions. Now, in closing, let me quickly read a Yahoo AI summary quote on soulless conditions for you. Quote, 1. A soulless condition typically refers to a state of being devoid of emotional depth, vitality, or genuine connection. Number 2. In the context of philosophy, some philosophers argue that a soulless existence lacks moral or ethical grounding. Number 3. In reference to culture, the term soulless condition is often used in literature and media to describe characters or societies that lack compassion or humanity. Number 4, finally, while the term can be interpreted in various ways, it generally conveys a sense of emptiness or absence of life, of life's deeper qualities, unquote. Now I run out of time, so I'll continue in the next episode when I'll focus on religion is the opium of the people, and where I will continue to show, explain, and prove to you why I know that religion is very dangerous for the continent of Africa and for all our fellow African people. So please join me in part 29. The continuation of Can Africa Be Set Free? Can Burkina Faso, the land of upright people, be set free? And in the meantime and between time, here's willing that you be more and more and much, much more, and definitely not be less. Let no one be less you. Don't be less, but be more and more and much, much more. For I am the Mystic Philosopher. Ashe, 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 I say. Thanks for listening. Please share.